Wizkid recently ranted on social media. A lot of people are really expecting something bigger from Wizkid and saying that yes, it's a PRO for the promotion of his songs. But it happens that Wizkid is complaining about something. Wizkid is tell everybody, your papa. Your papa don't wake up, everybody, ranting on social media. This is quite disturbing, and a lot of persons are saying, make them check on Wizkid, make it not be like, say, don't, go cuckoo. And now, somehow, he decided to drop a kind of post last night, and a lot of people are now understanding from where he's coming from. But he's not presenting it very well. That is one thing I kind of understand. Man, Wizkid, you need to rethink on how to present your own frustration about the industry, because a lot of people, they still have these challenges you are facing in the industry right here. Now, the question a lot of people are really asking, why are grade A artists in Nigeria always diluting Afrobeat? That is the question a lot of people are really asking, because some persons like Burna Boy will tell you that they are doing Afrofusion. A lot of people will tell you they are doing R&B, Afro this, Afro that. I kind of understand the perspective of Wizkid to an extent, because when you check the sounds coming in from Nigeria and other African countries in terms of this Afrobeat, they just use the name Afrobeat to boss us into a corner. That is one thing Wizkid is trying to say, that a lot of us are doing R&B and they are calling it Afrobeat, while some people are doing dancehall, they are calling it Afrobeat and the rest, just because the sound came in from Africa. And we need to show a distinction of this, and Wizkid is saying that you guys should go and do research on all of this and get to understand that most of the sounds from Africa, they are not Afrobeat, they are just being categorized as Afrobeat to an extent. I think we need to start, kind of developing our own platform to actually group and categorize our own. That is one thing I keep saying about this whole thing. Chasing Western validation will put such a thing on us that they have to give a nomenclature to our sounds, and we have to accept it. I'm not saying that we should not partner with these guys to actually put Afrobeat out there or put our sounds, our fusions out there. They need to understand the distinction between Afrobeat. According to Wizkid, he said Afrobeat is what Fela did. But right now, we are talking about Afrobeats. We are talking about people doing R&B, the likes of Thames doing R&B, and we should not call it Afrobeat. They should be able to compete within the R&B cycle and the rest. I still remember the words of P Square actually saying this thing also, that the likes of Russia has their own Grammy Awards, and why not Nigeria developing their own platforms, or Africa developing its platforms to actually, tell his story and put their artists out there. We should not also neglect the investment of the Western people. They have these platforms also, and we should allow them to invest. But what they are saying, we should properly, micromanage our own sounds. In the wake of this, Sanclef has said that Wizkid is not all that a good artist, that when he finds himself in an audition with Iyanya will actually beat Wizkid in an audition, and that can really escalate a lot of things. Let's catch a glimpse.
So, can I say something? Even Wizkid himself is not a fantastic singer.
But we should understand from the point Wizkid is talking from, that yes, these Western people, they've actually grouped all our sounds, both the R&B, both the rap, everything as kind of Afrobeat. So that is what Wizkid is saying. They have to kind of say they are doing R&B, they are doing jazz, they are doing a lot of things. That is what we have in Africa. We have a lot of people fusing different sounds together. How do you say these are Afrobeats? We should have a great category of our own. That is what Wizkid is really pushing for. I know Wizkid for some things like this, because I remember the BET that was being given to African artists backstage or before the event, and Wizkid fought for that, and they started giving BET awards to any African artist that wins at the event. That is something Wizkid is trying to fight for, and I think we should understand his own point of view, and also caution Wizkid not to fight this kind of fight the way he's doing, and should find a way to encourage others to actually believe in their own. That is one thing we can really use to fight this fight. He made a lot of rants on social media insulting a lot of persons, and people are not really comfortable with that. What is your own take about that? I want you to put that in the comment section. Wizkid doesn't want African music to just be labeled Afrobeat. He wants a lot more than that. That is what Wizkid is really asking in his voice. He talked about his Made in Lagos album having different type of genre, and then they categorize it as Afrobeat. I think Wizkid is having a lot to actually spill at this, and we should listen to Wizkid and get to understand his own point of view. Chasing more Western validation has actually brought us to this corner, and I think we have to unboss ourselves from this. And how do we unboss ourselves? We should start from home. That is something I kind of keep saying, that we should keep Afrobeat. We should develop more platforms at home, more awards at home that we recognize a bit, and that will help us to actually put our story out there, because we are more than 1 billion people on the continent, and we can really speak with our numbers. And with some few investments in the Afrobeat sector, in the music sector, in the entertainment industry, I think we are really ahead of what these people think about us. Coming in from Ubi Franklin right now is talking about how he was disrespected by P Square and their brother. That is something quite disturbing at the time. According to him, he said P Square almost signed Iyanya, but they disrespected me, and that signage could not really happen. And he said this at a podcast interview, and a lot of people are really getting to understand how Ubi Franklin and Iyanya has actually, kind of went through a lot in the music industry. I think that is a disrespect to an extent. You cannot ask the manager of an artist to stay outside when you want to sign an artist. That is quite, disturbing and embarrassing to an extent. And according to him, he said that signing could not hold because of that kind of action. Let's listen to Ubi Franklin on this.
P Square called us to their house.
No,
bro.
With
Okay,
Jude,
so
Rude, Paul, and
bro,
Peter.
let me tell you what happened in that meeting. Jude, we got there.
God.
Jude, Jude, Paul, Peter. They told me, Ubi, wait outside. They called Iyanya into the house. I was boiling down there.
Same there.
Bro, you know what? Immediately, see, Iyanya would have gotten that deal with P Square. He would have done the deal. But for the fact that they said wait outside,
Because they wanted the
my
talent.
ego was bruised. And you know what? I said, you know what I said? You know what I said to them? I said, even if I was offered $50 million, I'll reject the deal.
Because they were like, this guy no be manager level.
Guess what? LD deal was actually better than theirs.
Yeah.
No.
But because they have
But then they were. Do you understand?
But forget
Yeah.
this way was Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Do you know what it is to walk into P Square too?
And
And say no. So they were offering a deal. The only difference between P Square and this deal was P Square were going to take us. They
On
told
the
them
road.
they will take you everywhere.
on the road
Do you understand? They
straight.
say we'll everywhere. See all these stadiums, we'll bomb, we'll do everything. This your cookery needs to go.
Hey,
Nya came out from the meeting.
you were sitting down there sweating.
Bro, I was there's like I was sweating. You know what? I almost drove away. Then Bassi told me, no, let's stay, let's wait. So Iyanya came out of the meeting very excited. I was like, they'll send a contract tomorrow. And guess what? Jude now came out and told me, I'll send you guys a contract tomorrow. Send me your email. I sent him the email quietly and left. I think they sent a document, but we never replied. Iyanya kept asking me how far. Now, guess what? You see, sometimes when you are in a position of power, you should stop screening things. Iyanya tried to call them back.
To say,
wait
now.
I knew he was going to say.
Yeah. So he had called them back, but he didn't know that they had sent a contract. Yeah. And I said no. The day we got back from that meeting, that's the day I told him. I said,
We start our label.
let's start our label.
That night.
I said,
Wow.
I
That
said,
was the night
I said,
midnight.
I said, if we start our label, these guys will take us serious. I said, then guess who was the guy I was looking up to in management was actually Jude. I loved the rude attitude. I loved it. It was a
It doesn't take no prisoners.
You know what? That's what I love. So standing in front of somebody and you are saying, and then you knew that you are going to know to this guy, it was so sweet.
I thank God Solid Star is really out of his situation right here. And this guy is, kind of giving sad story of what happened to him. He virtually ran mad as a result of use of drugs. And according to him, he said in 2021, somebody introduced him to a kind of substance called ice, and that messed up with his mental well-being. This guy is out of it, fine and healthy, and that is one thing I want to celebrate with him. And he said this at a recent interview, and a lot of people are really responding to that. You need to understand that we have to discourage the use of drugs. We have to say no to drug use because it's messing up a lot of people in the street out there. Let's listen to Solid Star.
A lot of things happened to me. Young boys, they go introduce me to this substance. God,
What's be the name?
my eyes.
Wow.
Which year was this?
This was 3 years back. 3 years back.
That's 2021.
Yeah, 3 years back. So this thing really, it really, yeah, it do bad, as in it thing affect me a lot. So this substance now, this time single time say you are this or that. Tell me say I don't make I know they pay for stuff. Imagine say I walk out from Iyanya to rent out hotel.
What do you have to say about this? I want you to put that in the comment section. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos and thank you for the love so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos.